You might be here. Have you just started figuring out that you might be ADHD or autistic and you're feeling super overwhelmed and too scared to go in for a diagnosis because you're like, what if they don't believe me? The whole process just seems like so much, like way too much. It's chaotic. I just don't want to do it. It's too much. Then babe, you're here. And all of those feelings put your body into fight or flight. And you might be thinking, fight or flight, Sav, like that's got to be like a big event, like to put you into that. And well, yes, being chased by a bear can put you into fight or flight. So can small things like realizing this huge thing about your identity, and now you're either going to flight, which is avoid it, or fight, and you're going to be like, okay, fuck yeah, let's like figure it out. You might be going into flight. You just like avoid. I do not want to be here. I do not want to do this. I want to pretend like it's not all happening, and I'm just going to continue on with my life because it's been going fine as is and nothing needs to change, right? And rather than fighting the bear, you are running away from it. The bear being diagnosis, by the way. But then what happens is we avoid, and then that makes us feel even worse because we should be getting answers, or we should find out for certain, or we can't hide from our problems forever, which actually makes us feel worse again. And then we feel guilty. We might feel bad or weak, but it's always floating around in the back of your head, right? I want a diagnosis, but it's too hard. I'm scared to get a diagnosis because what if they don't believe me? What if I actually made it all up in my head? What's that doing? That's just making us feel worse. And then when we feel worse, we go back into fight or flight. And this cycle goes and it goes and goes because all of those questions you have are left unanswered. The loop never ends, as in you don't get the answers. You don't reach the climax or the ending or the culmination of it. The loop just stays open and it keeps going until those questions of why just get bigger and bigger and bigger and you explode. And then you finally do something about getting a diagnosis. However, it's coming from a place of fear and panic and depression and overwhelm and really guilt. And then this ends up becoming this black hole of avoidance. And you swing back around the cycle again until you get back to fight or flight. And all of this is happening because your body is dysregulated. You're unregulated, your nervous system is unregulated, and the only thing it knows what to do in that situation is it just gets more and more dysregulated. So what we need to do is when we get back to fight or flight and we have the choice to avoid or we have the choice to action, this is the pivotal moment here that we could break that whole cycle. So the next time you get to, I want to avoid that thing, go, maybe is my nervous system not regulated right now? How about I try regulating my nervous system and then deciding what to do? And I have a great freebie for you that can do that. It's my nervous system audio breathwork reset thingamajig. And if you comment breathe, that will automatically get DM'd to you. So you could try something like that. Or there's a million other things that you can do to regulate your nervous system when you get to that pivotal point. And this is a cycle that's not just about this. This is about everything. However, I'm just linking it to that one specific problem that you might be having, which is, do I or don't I go get diagnosed? I'm overwhelmed by the whole fucking thing. So now that we've gotten back to fight or flight, we've chosen to breathe, to reset our nervous system instead of letting the avoidance cycle start again all over again, which this is unconscious. This is happening unconsciously. You don't even really realize it's happening. This is where we make a conscious decision to breathe, to stop, to reset our nervous system so that we can make a conscious decision to choose a different route. Because when your nervous system is regulated, you can make logical decisions. It's not coming out of emotion, it's coming out of logic. So what would we logically need to do to go into a diagnosis feeling confident that we're going to come out with the diagnosis? How do we remove all the fears that sent us into fight or flight? Which those fears were the unknown, not being believed, and basically feeling unsupported. So how do we solve those three? We solve the unknown by educating. So the unknown becomes known. So if we now know how the whole process diagnosis happens, we know what to expect when we go in, we know what to be prepared with when we go in, we know all of the things, we're less likely to head back into fight or flight. There's no bears chasing us, coming at us out of surprise, right? We can make sense of the path we need to go on. How do we combat being nervous about not being believed? That's to get proof. Not only so we can believe ourselves and feel cemented in that fact, but also so they will believe us too. So that's like doing quizzes, collecting examples of how it impacts your day-to-day life, like so many things. And if you DM me the word proof, I will send you the proof portfolio, which is the exact portfolio that I used when I went in for my assessment for ADHD. That really made sure that had me coming out being diagnosed in 2 sessions instead of 5. It is the epitome of like going in feeling prepared. Trust me. And then this one, feeling unsupported, it really is, I feel, more about confidence. So how do we gain confidence? And I find that confidence comes through education, so knowing the things, like being cemented in that, and the proof. It really is the connection of the two. It's knowing what's most likely going to happen and being prepared for it. So that's where this plus this equals this. And when you get to have all of these 3 things, that in turn produces happiness. We're feeling happy, we're feeling supported, we're feeling confident, we feel like we've got the evidence, we're feeling good, we know what we need to do. And when you're in a state of happiness or regulation, your body is regulated, guess how much easier it is to take action? So much easier. And action in this scenario equals diagnosis. So if you want to go into your assessment feeling supported, feeling prepared, feeling confident, knowing you've got the proof and knowing you know what the fuck is happening, then comment Sidekick, because I've literally made the ultimate resource that will support you, educate you, and help you put together all the proof you need to get through the diagnosis process, feeling confident, feeling supported, and with the assurance that you'll come out being believed. So if you're feeling like you're in fight or flight and you don't know what to do, right now, just DM me the word breathe. Once you've DM'd me the word breathe, you've got your nervous system regulated and you're feeling a little bit more ready to take some action, come back and choose to get educated. Choose to get proof and choose to gain confidence. They are choices. They are not just going to happen. They are choices that you make. You choose to want to obtain those things. The action you need to take to choose that is to DM me the word Sidekick so I can help you do all 3 of those. All in one resource that I have made specifically so that you don't have to go through diagnosis alone. You don't have to go through unsupported, and it can be an amazing experience if you do the work to ensure that it is. If you put the responsibility of your experience into the hands of the assessor, you're never going to come out with what you want. If you take the responsibility for your experience by being prepared for it, you get to make that be the most exciting and fun experience, and it can be that. So DM me breathe or DM me Sidekick and let's start the process. Guys, love you, bye.